Hi guys, so this is part 3 of homebuyer horror stories and how to avoid them. So in this series, we are talking about some of the most common things that can go wrong when buying a home and what you can do to avoid them. So if you haven't already, make sure to check out parts 1 and parts 2. Alrighty, let's get started with homebuyer horror story number 1. So the negotiations get botched and the deal falls through. So buying and selling a home is a high stakes transaction. Also, there is a lot of emotion that goes into it. Now, when you think about it, communication in itself is an art and a science. But the level of communication that is required to properly carry out a home purchase transaction, that is next level. It takes an incredible amount of people skills, experience, and market savvy to properly carry out those negotiations. That's why it is so important to work with a great real estate agent who is really good at what they do. So when choosing a realtor, do not take this decision lightly. To me, a great realtor is someone who's got that confidence, they have the people skills, so they're fun to communicate with, but they also have the experience, the market savvy, and the critical thinking to really back it up. Now, there are a lot of great real estate agents who love what they do. So if you haven't already found a realtor who you absolutely love, you can ask your mortgage advisor to see if they know someone, and they might be able to refer you to a realtor who is a great fit for you. Alrighty, so here's the next homebuyer horror story, and this one comes more into play after you close on the home. Homeowner's insurance not having you covered for what you need. Now, I'm not an insurance agent, so take this with a grain of salt, but let's say you're paying for insurance. And then something goes wrong, there's damage to your home, but your insurance policy doesn't cover that specific type of damage, and then you have to pay to repair it out of pocket. For example, some standard insurance policies do not cover certain types of water damage. Like if a drain or a sump pump overflows, that might not be covered under the standard policy. However, you can add that type of water damage coverage as an addendum. Also, so you might already know about hazard insurance for things like fire, hail, lightning, falling objects, theft, etc. But in addition to hazard insurance, there's also homeowner's liability insurance, which would have you covered for certain things like if someone were to get injured on your property. But some insurance policies can be pretty selective, meaning they pick and choose what they cover. And if something gets damaged or goes wrong that just happens to not be covered by that policy, then you can run into a problem. So again, not an insurance agent, take this with a grain of salt, but here's my suggestion to avoid this issue. When shopping around for insurance policies, take the time to read each policy in detail to understand what is and what is not covered. Remember that certain policies can be pretty selective, so don't make any assumptions there. Also, when doing your research, it might be a good idea to reach out to your new neighbors and ask them what are some of the typical hazards or problems that they've run into over the years, because that can give you an idea of what you would want to be covered in your insurance policy. So again, not an insurance agent, take it with a grain of salt, but that's just my suggestion there. Alrighty, that brings us to our final homebuyer horror story. You're sick of renting, but you don't think that there's a snowball's chance in heck that you'll ever be able to qualify. It's a tale as old as time, or as old as mortgages. Anyways, we see this a lot in the mortgage world, where basically someone thinks that they're just never going to qualify to buy a home. You know, they just don't have the income, they've had some credit issues in the past, so they just give up hope entirely and keep on renting indefinitely. But you'd be surprised how a lot of times a person might think they don't have what it takes to qualify, and then they talk to a mortgage advisor and realize that they can qualify to get into a home a lot sooner than they previously thought. That's why I recommend talking to a mortgage advisor even if you're not quite ready to buy, because you have to start somewhere. And talking to a mortgage advisor can help you get a better idea of how you can improve your finances and put yourself in a better position to buy a home. And yes, it might take some time. It might take 6 or 12 or even 18 months. Or you might even find out that you can qualify to get into a home a lot sooner than you previously thought. But you don't know what you don't know, and you have to start somewhere. So talking to a mortgage advisor is a great first step rather than just going in alone. Awesome. Well, that's the end of our list of homebuyer horror stories for now. I really hope I was able to give you a lot of value and great information on this. Just know that you deserve to be properly informed, and I look forward to helping you out more with this as much as I can, and I wish you the best of luck on your home buying journey. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time.